She never listened, no. Robin's awesome. I'm glad she's building something awesome down here in Charleston. You have an amazing city. Love it here, absolutely. Where are my veterans at? Thank you for your service. You'd be shocked to know I was not in the military. Yeah, this is true. When I was 18, I met with a recruiter, and we met for an hour. At the end of that hour, he said, you should not join the military. He literally told me that my participation in the military would only serve to motivate our enemies. And I can't deny that. I think so, because, you know, if you're the other side and you're scouting our ranks and you see me up front, you're attacking. They're like, all right, we found the weakness in our lines. Let's go, boys. About the only positive I can say is if I was in the Army, we never would have had to give Afghanistan back. Never give back what you never had. So, you know. Oh my goodness. And then we have teachers here. Where are the teachers at? We have a teacher here. Where are my teacher at? I can't see you, but you have a very tough job. Give it up for teachers, guys. I would not want their job, especially in this climate and everything that's going on. Are they talking down here about, like, giving teachers guns? No? Good, because like, they talk about it in other places all the time about giving teachers guns, and I don't think that's a particularly great idea. I don't think you want to give guns to underpaid, overworked, underappreciated county employees in order to prevent school shootings. When I heard that, my first thought was, I wonder what teacher I had in school would have been the one to shoot me. And I'm pretty sure it would have been my 7th grade PE teacher. There's no way that man watching me try to do a sit-up would not have been pushed over the edge. He'd be like, one sit-up! What? One sit-up! Next thing you know, I got my own page in the yearbook. Middle school's rough, yeah. It's cool, but I am here from Washington, D.C., home of the Washington Commanders football team. Let's hear for the Washington Commanders. Yeah, that name sucks, doesn't it? That name is ridiculous. Although, up in D.C., they were way worried it was going to be worse. A lot of people were worried that the owner of the team, Daniel Snyder, was going to name the team after himself and call them the Washington Predators. Yeah, those cheerleaders were not going to like that mascot at all, you know. But I've actually been traveling for comedy a lot over the last year, and it's been amazing. I actually, before I came here, I had just gotten back from Texas. I did a 30-day tour of Texas, which was beautiful. It's a great state. Really, it gets a bad rep, but it's really a great state. I also have roots there. My father is from a small town in Texas called Seguin. And I mentioned that at a show I did, that my father was from Seguin. And after the show, this guy comes running up to me. And he goes, dude, is your dad really from Seguin? And I went, yeah. He goes, dude, I got addicted to meth in Seguin. Well, it's a small world, isn't it, sir? Glad my dad's hometown is thriving. But sadly though, last October, I lost my father. Yeah, in a corn maze. I'm kidding, he died. And but you know what? I mean, I believe this. I don't believe in mourning death. I believe in celebrating life.
Yeah.
Yes. My dad lived a good, long life, man. Did a lot of things. And I was proud of him, too, because when the doctors told him there was no chance he was going to survive, they asked him, do you want us to pull the plug? And he said, no, I'm going to fight it out as long as I can. And I was proud of that. I was proud to be his son. It also made me question if I was his son, because I asked the doctors to pull the plug on me every time I see a doctor. It's true. I'm not kidding. I was at the doctor's a couple weeks ago, and I was like, dude, doc, if this goes bad, I give you permission to pull the plug on me. And he looked at me in my eyes and he goes, I'm an eye doctor. And I'm like, well, are you also a little bitch? Let's get with the bully. And he goes, well, Ray, if you feel that bad about yourself, why don't you do something about it? Try and lose some weight, eat better, try and feel better. Screw you, dude, you're just an eye doctor. My eyes are up here, sir. Hashtag me too. It's tough being a big guy. It was tough being a fat guy during the pandemic. Because I had people constantly coming running up to me to tell me how fat I was and how that made me high risk for COVID. They're like, oh, you're so high risk. You're so high risk for COVID. And my answer to that was always the same. Is that COVID needed to get to the back of the line. Because I challenge you to look at me and tell me what I'm not high risk for. Heart disease, diabetes, burning out Chick-fil-A because they're closed on Sundays. All of that. You know? And then you got to deal with guys like Joe Rogan, you know, who wants to talk about fat people on his podcast all the time, calling obesity a national problem. Yeah, Joe, it is a national problem. You know what else is a national problem? White guys who say the N-word on their podcast. Okay? The difference is I can't talk away my fatness by saying you all are taking it out of context. Okay? I can't be like up to you guys and go, yeah, you call me fat, or perhaps I'm just too short for my weight. Yeah, if I was 8 feet tall, you guys wouldn't say shit, would you? Expand your minds, people. You know? And then he put out an Instagram post where he said, and I quote, he put out a post that scientists have done a study proving that obesity leads to COVID. No one was questioning that, Joe. You seriously have a scientific study to figure that out? That's a waste of money. Like, if you're going to do a scientific study, figure out what disorders or illnesses or whatever out there would you benefit from adding a couple 100 pounds to your frame. I'll claim that right now. Okay, I'll be like, yeah, I got to keep my weight over 300, otherwise my herpes will come back. Herpes can't survive in a high cholesterol environment. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, it's true. They did a study. But I'm trying to lose weight. Like, this year for New Year's, I did make a resolution that I was going to eat better, exercise, try and lose some weight, get in better shape, you know? And then because I'm Catholic, I decided to combine that with Lent. So for Lent this year, I gave up hope. And as you can see, it's going great. No complaints, you know? And then I wanted to improve my mental state. I want to improve this up here, my mental health. So I did what any adult would start doing, as you can imagine. I started taking mushrooms. Yeah, mushroom fans here? Anyone? Sir, mushrooms? Oh. Well, you should go back, sir, because they are new and improved, okay? You know? Although I will give you a piece of advice. If you're going to start taking mushrooms again, don't start during Gay Pride Month. Yeah, you're going to see some shit, all right? Because I was in D.C., and I'm seeing, like, fireworks and glitter and rainbows and leprechauns and dragons and unicorns, right? And then I took the mushrooms, and the shit got way crazier. So, wait a week. Wait till this weekend, next weekend, all right? Oh my goodness. Not with that attitude, sir. I'm sorry. You know, and then they say, you know, I read that if you want to feel better about yourself, do nice things for yourself. So I'm here to tell you guys that I recently got my anus bleached. Anus bleached, sir? No, you do not know what you're owed. I found it delightful, sir. To be fair, the people who did the job would not say the same thing. They had to put in some work. I have what's described as deep cheeks. So they had to treat it less of a cleanup and more like a mining operation. They had to put in like a tramway and support structures. We lost 3 Chilean miners. Relax, we found them. They went back to Chile. Yeah, they were like, no mas. Our babies don't need to eat that badly. Oh my goodness. How you doing today, ma'am? Amir? What's your name?
Robin.
Robin. Robin, am I the fattest comic you've ever seen? No? That sucks. I'm trying to be special up here. I do all the open mics at Golden Corral. Fried shrimp is a huge part of my comedy game. Yeah. Robin, I used to be a lot bigger. I used to be close to 600 pounds. And I tried doing stand-up then and it didn't work. No, it didn't, because here's what would happen, is they would call me to the stage, and what I'd give them would be, oh shit. How much time do I have left? It's all good. You know. I hate fake fat people. You know who they are. Ones walk up, I'm 40 pounds overweight, I feel so fat. Amateur. It's like, call me when you're ready to go pro, son. Like, you want to know if you're super fat? There's a really easy test. Go to an amusement park. Get in line for the roller coaster. Wait a long time. And when you get to the front of that ride, if the guy running the ride looks at you and goes, nah, brah. You're fat. Get around some good, all right? It's time. You know? It's time. I don't know. I actually don't call myself fat anymore. I tell people I'm a bodybuilder. Well, it's all about building mass. I just do it differently. You know? I mean, we still have competitions. Just a bunch of guys looking like me in Speedos posing. Number 39, can you turn around? No. You win. I don't know. I work hard to maintain this body. I do. You guys don't know. I'll have you know that I go to the gym every morning at 5 a.m. with a dozen donuts that I eat in front of a spin class. I am there to motivate. I want the women in that class to know that if they do not work hard, I will be their last resort. So pedal faster, ladies. No cyclists here? Okay, cool. We're like, fuck you. Donuts are delicious. They are. I recently broke up with my girlfriend. Thank you, only person who cares. We broke up for 2 reasons. One, I don't know how to talk to women. Like, I think I do, but I really don't. Like, give you an example. When we first started dating, we'd ask each other questions and kind of learn about each other. And the first question she asked me was, do you have a porn addiction? Now, what I should have said was, no, I don't have a porn addiction. What I actually said was, why, what have you heard? So we got off to a bad start, okay? And then, to top it off, I gotta tell you the truth, I'm bad at sex. I tried. I'm just bad at it, Robin. I'm sorry. I'm just bad at it. I'm sorry. You're disappointed. I'm sorry. But she tried to talk me through it. Like one time, she wanted me to use my hand on her, and she said to do it to the rhythm and the beat of the song "Chandelier" by Sia. And I'm like, all right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, drink. Throw them back till I lose count. I wanna swing from the chandelier, the chandelier. Then she sat going, you don't have to sing the damn song. And I disagreed. I think it's a catchy tune. It's like, give Sia some props, lady. Jeez. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know. So we broke up, and that's when I decided to go on the road. And it's been great. I love being on the road because you always see the craziest things when you're on the road. Like, I'll give you guys an example. Speaking of Charleston, we did a show in Charleston, West Virginia, in a place called the Blue Parrot. And you should get a tetanus shot. So, hepatitis or something. That's just, I wouldn't brag about that if I were you. I'm just saying. That's not going to look good on a resume. That's all I'm saying. So I'm on stage, and what's the stereotype about West Virginia? Like, oh, brother, sister, mother, yeah, all that crap, right? I didn't do a joke about it. I simply mentioned it. And when I did, this hillbilly guy in overalls stood up and started yelling at me. He's like, hey, Mr. Fireman, let me tell you something. That's some bullshit right there. I'll have you know, the great state of West Virginia, they don't pass a law. Say you won't marry that little girl. You gotta take that little girl to the courthouse. You gotta prove she ain't your kid. So everything that, what? You don't want no beer, bitch. Everything you said was bullshit. Fuck you. I was like, oh my God. Then he got in his limo and went back to the governor's mansion. He's like, I got a state to run. And let me tell you something. I wrote that joke before I actually saw the governor of West Virginia. And now I have it. I really think it was him. I don't know where he found that guy, but making moonshine somewhere because they sure didn't find him in a suit. That's for sure. Crazy, man. Although, as crazy as West Virginia is, Kentucky is way crazier. I have seen some stuff in Kentucky. We were driving from West Virginia through the town of Corbin, Kentucky. And we're driving on the highway, and we see a billboard. And the billboard says, drugs and guns, next exit. Now let me tell you something. I don't care what you believe in, what your morals are, or who you're traveling with. But if you're driving on the highway and you see a sign that says drugs and guns, next exit, you're getting off of that exit. Doesn't matter. You can be like, sorry, forget Disney World, kids. I think we just found Disney World for sad adults. We're going this place. And so we did. We went there. And sure enough, it was a trailer, a big trailer. And on the right side, there was a pharmacy. And on the left was a gun store. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, that makes absolute perfect sense. Because when you're at the pharmacy, waiting on your prescription for antidepressants, why not buy a gun? Those pills don't always work. Always good to have a plan B. Sorry, no one's depressed here? Okay, moving on. Gosh, y'all are too happy. Robin is. I can tell Robin is. And some mushrooms, yes. There, this. See? I hooked you, didn't I, sir? That's right. 'Cause I'm a drug dealer. I just find guys in like handicapped skull caps and just get them hooked on mushrooms. My work here is done. Oh my goodness. It's all right. It was great though. But you know what I did though? When I saw that, it motivated me to open up my own combined business. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to open up a combined sperm bank / abortion clinic. I'm going to call it Take It or Leave It. It'll be in a liberal state, yeah. Perfect for Maryland. Maryland would love this place. So we're going to do that. I don't know. The world's still crazy, isn't it? You guys agree? The world's still crazy? It really is. And I think people still feel like fighting. I do. Do you guys feel like fighting sometimes? Yeah? I do too, you know? Like, sir, you in the red cap, do you think I can beat you in a fight? That was the lamest answer ever. Come on, man. Now, let me show you how to answer that. Sir, right there in the striped shirt, can I beat you in a fight?
Hell no.
That's how you answer that question. You see how he answered that? Almost like pissed off that he asked. What is this guy talking about?
Hell no.
Believe in yourself. That's what I say. Tell me, and seriously, if I challenge you to a fight, would you take me seriously?
No.
Or would you look at me like I was a Make-A-Wish kid?
Damn.
You know, like, that's the cancer talking. I don't know. I feel like I think the reason I feel like fighting though is I recently watched the movie Roadhouse. Yeah, you know that movie? Yeah. And in that movie, there's a scene in which Patrick Swayze is having this brutal fight with the lead thug, his name is Jimmy. And they're having this brutal hand-to-hand combat, right? And in the middle of this fight, for some reason, Jimmy looks at Patrick Swayze and goes, I used to fuck guys like you in prison. Yeah. Which I guess is supposed to be like a badass thing to say. But personally, it sounded like maybe he was just doing a little fishing. Kind of want to see how Swayze would react. Because in this scene, Swayze is shirtless and oiled up. And he's wearing the tightest pair of sweatpants a man's ever worn. Like the only thing missing is the word juicy on his ass. You know? So I think he thought he'd say, hey, I used to fuck guys like you in prison. His thought would be Swayze would be like, no way, me too. You know? But now I kind of want to use that in a fight and see what happens. Maybe not even an argument, just a really good, not a physical altercation, but a really good argument. Like a really good argument. Like what if I come here tonight and I see the owner of the restaurant and I say, hey dude, I'm here, I'm ready to go up, and he goes, oh Ray, bad news, we overbooked the show, I'm sorry, we can't put you up. It's like, dude, I drove all the way from Washington, D.C., I'm going up tonight. And he goes, no, not gonna happen, sorry. I'm like, dude, this is not how you treat comics. He goes, listen, there's nothing I can do, I gotta deal with the audience, I gotta deal with the bar, I gotta deal with the restaurant, there's nothing I can do, so back off me. And I said, hey! I used to fuck guys like you in prison. And as you can see, it worked. I'm on stage right now. I don't know what that means for after the show. Cross that bridge when I get there. I don't know. I get by on the road by streaming TV shows. My favorite TV show to watch is called Beyond Scared Straight. If you're not familiar with that show, it's where they take children to prison and allow the inmates to say the most awful things possible to them in order to prevent them from becoming criminals in the future. And what I love about the show is that the inmates they bring in, there's always one who talks badass and acts badass and looks badass, but he doesn't have the crime to match. You know, he's always like, my name's Stab Moon. I'm the baddest man in here. You must be, I'll make you my bitch. And And then the caption will read, Stab was doing 14 months for tax fraud. Real G's don't declare cash tips. Shows I hate the least, hunting shows. Now, I don't have a problem with hunting. If you're a hunter, cool, you know. But I don't like hunting TV shows. And I'll tell you why. It's because every hunting TV show is the same. They basically have some guy track some animal through the entire episode, and then right before he wants to go for the kill, he wants to wax philosophic about life. And it's very hypocritical. Yeah, you've seen it. It's like he's always crouched down and whispering. He's like, okay. So right down the glen here, we have a whitetail buck. Looks like a 12-pointer. What a majestic animal. You know, when I see an animal like this, it reminds me of how beautiful the world we live in truly is. That we all deserve love and patience and kindness. And all of us are truly God's children. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna shoot it through the eye. Like, all right, man. Whatever gets you excited, dude. I don't know. Hey, before we get going, I'm going to tell you guys one more joke, but before we go, first, can we please give it up for all the comics you've seen tonight? Can we get up for Paige? For Steve Tracy? For T-Lead? And of course, give it up for Robin. Couple little things too. If you want to see where I'm going to be next, best follow me on Instagram. It's at Ray Jubela, which is my last name, Jubela. If you didn't catch that, I'll be back there at the end of the show. And also, Steve Tracy and I also have a podcast. It's called 2 Joke Minimum. You can find it on any streaming service. Please give us a listen. We would really appreciate it. I'm going to leave you guys with this. I am quite the cinephile, which means I like movies. Watching movies is my favorite thing to do. And during the pandemic, I watched all 8 in one weekend. I watched all 8 Harry Potter movies. Harry Potter fans? Okay. They weren't bad. They were pretty good. But I do have one complaint. I did not like the final battle of the last movie. In particular, I didn't like the final battle between Harry Potter and Voldemort. And I'll tell you why. It's because they made 8 movies showing how much these guys hate each other. And then they had a very anticlimactic battle. Okay? I mean, it was boring. You know? Basically, they ended up in the courtyard, they stood up with their wands, they fired at each other with their wands, which sounds gay, but it isn't. And then that was it, right? That was it. You know? You can't end a movie that way. You can't end a franchise that way. You gotta have that hate, that vitriol, that rage built up in that final battle so you can have that true epic conclusion. So, if I had directed that movie, I would have added a little bit of dialogue just to really hammer it home. Okay? So what would have happened is, basically everything would stay the same. They would end up in the courtyard at Hogwarts, Harry Potter and Voldemort. They're on the ground, about 40 feet apart, and they're both crawling to their wands. Harry Potter gets to his wand first. He stands up. He looks at Voldemort in the eyes and he goes, Voldemort! You killed my family! Today I avenge them and I end your reign of terror! And then Voldemort gets to his feet. He looks Harry Potter dead in the eye and he says, Harry Potter! I used to fuck guys like you in prison! End credits. Charleston, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Have a good night.
Y'all made it. Y'all have a good night. It was so fun to laugh. It was so fun to laugh. Thanks for coming out and supporting live comedy. Everybody take out your phones. Yes, you're allowed to have them now. I was hushing people and telling people not to be on their phones. It's funny. It's like I'm my mom here too, but I just wanted everyone to enjoy the show. That's all. Nothing personal. But take out your phones at Best Medicine Brigade. Okay, this is it. Follow us. We're gonna be having some more shows. So please follow us and come out again. Bring your friends. So you see this really cute T-shirt I'm wearing? So cute. It says "Be Hilarious." Because we do believe that laughter is the best medicine. We do a lot of work with our veterans. Like I said, our program at the VA is called Hilarious. I've got these T-shirts in crew and in the V-neck because it makes the girls look good. They are real. These are all mozzarella sticks and Five Guys. So if you want some, just keep eating. I always say like I'm 140 pounds, but the scale says 170. It's just a marketing issue. It's like, this is not a C-section scar, it's a smiley face. So. But anyway, thank you so much. Take care of your bartender, Matt. I do have, like I said, the T-shirts, and we do have a tip jar for the comics if you enjoyed them. So if you want to leave a donation, I do give out bottle openers that say Best Medicine Brigade, Be Hilarious, and stickers if you make any donation, even if it's a penny. So thanks so much. Be safe. Have a good night.